What if Yoda, the galaxy's 900-year-old meditation mascot, was a repeat guest at the luxury compound of a Mun named Jeh'Fren Eppstein? No Sith, no secret war, just one dead Mun, a datapad full of shuttle logs, and a surveillance clip that ends with him choking mid-walk, while Yoda was meditating 2 star systems away. The Holonet called it a scandal. The Senate launched hearings. The Jedi issued a statement that just said, "Oops." And Yoda didn't flinch, didn't comment, just sat cross-legged while the galaxy screamed, "Why were you on the guest list 12 times?" This wasn't a rumor, it was a data leak with timestamps, video, and a corpse. And the council was left with one conclusion. Yoda might have long-distance force-choked a wellness guru on purpose, and things were about to get much, much worse. This didn't start with a Jedi, or a Sith, or anyone who mattered. It started with a bored intern, Tag, mid-rim security firm. 6 hours into a power audit, he flagged an asteroid burning enough energy to power a Star Destroyer. The ticket got closed, then deleted. So Tag did the responsible thing. He panicked and uploaded the whole server to the Holonet with the file name "Bro, I thinks I found some shit.zip." He had shuttle logs, bank routes through a Gamorrean laundromat, wellness guest schedules, names dropped fast, senators, judges, one Wookiee who claimed diplomatic immunity, and under it all, one name, no alias, no disguise, no cover, just Yoda. 12 trips, 12 landings, Republic clearance every time, same moon, same asteroid, Jeh'Fren Eppstein, now very, very dead. The council assumed it was fake until they checked the temple's own records. All of it matched. Windu ordered the docking cam footage. There he was. Yoda. Fresh robes. Calm as ever. He steps off the ship. He nods at a droid holding vitamins. Walks inside. No escort. No lightsaber. Everyone in the chamber froze. Plo Koon left to activate the HR droid. Ki-Adi-Mundi started sweating from places Syrians don't usually sweat. Mace Windu looks like he was about to force draft his own resignation. Because this wasn't speculation, this wasn't political, this was Yoda. On tape. On record. 12 times. And the last visit? It happened during a battle the temple marked as Yoda unavailable, meditating. Translation: Yoda ditched Felucia to chill with a moon in a bathrobe. Nobody spoke. Nobody blinked. Because now, Yoda was in the files. And there's no way out. Next morning, emergency council session. No robes. No calm. No bullshit. What the fuck, Yoda? Is this why the Chosen One was too old to train? Yoda doesn't blink. Doesn't move. He just sits there with nothing to lose. Plo Koon immediately stands and leaves. Doesn't say a word. HR droid time. Ki-Adi-Mundi starts frantically scanning logs, hoping for a typo. Maybe it was a clone, maybe it was a prank, maybe this was some very committed Life Day impersonation. No, the data's clean, tags are real, footage is legit. 12 visits. No mission order, no log, no explanation. Healing the moon required. Mindfulness I provided. Silence. Deep, painful silence. The kind where everyone's hoping someone else will scream first. Healing? You healed Epstein, the guy whose entire career was bribing senators into pretending yoga was diplomacy? Yoda doesn't react, just slightly tilts his head. Ki-Adi gestures at the timeline, specifically the part where Yoda claimed he was meditating while Epstein's compound. Yoda shrugs. Schedule aligned, it did. That's when the room collapses. Depa Billabin face palms. Oppo Rancis starts braiding his beard. Even Saisei Tin groans, and no one's heard him make a sound since the Clone Wars started. Everyone wants one thing: a sane answer. What they get is a senior citizen playing Jedi semantics. Yoda closes his eyes, exhales, and says, "Important the moment was. Details, not." It's the worst thing he could have said, because now it's not just suspicious, it's a cover-up. Yoda's not panicking, he's calm. Too calm. And that's what terrifies them. No vote, no rebuke, no plan. The council ends in silence. And down the hall, the HR droid boots up, because someone's gonna need it. Nobody believed that was the last visit. So, who was Jeh'Fren Eppstein? Mun, mid-rim, tall, smug, absolutely tax-exempt, claimed to facilitate personal growth, which in Moonspeak means definitely hiding something. He wasn't a Sith, wasn't a separatist, never picked up a lightsaber, didn't need to. His weapons were plausible deniability and suspiciously vague non-profits. Officially, he ran shipping companies, medical transports, and a youth arts foundation based out of an opera house janitor closet. Unofficially, he ran the force-neutral retreat for anyone rich, corrupt, or spiritually confused. The asteroid, technically a meditation center. In practice, it was a private luxury black site with blackout sensors, zero legal oversight, and a spa menu that included an emotional detox via isolation pod. Senators went. Executives went. One Kaminoan kept showing up for hydro balancing? Most guests used coded tags. One guy came listed as conference room delivery, but one name was in plain text. Every time. Yoda. 12 landings, no aliases, no excuses. Just full Jedi diplomatic clearance and a facial expression that said, "This is fine." The Jedi never logged the visits. No mission briefs, no records. And when Epstein turned out dead, nobody had answers. At first, the temple assumed it was a mistake, until someone opened the death report. No wounds, no poison, no witnesses. Just a sealed cell, a dead Mun, and a gravity fluctuation. That traced back to Coruscant. Low-level force projection. Precise, lethal, off-world origin. Right from a Jedi meditation chamber. The same timestamp as Yoda's deep centering session. Not a theory, a kill shot. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't, okay, Yoda visited. Suddenly, it was, Yoda might have remotely force-choked a guy from another system while sipping soup in a bathrobe? And when that info leaked, when the logs hit the Holonet, when some poor slicer dropped the evidence and ran straight to Hoth, the public didn't ask, was Yoda guilty? They asked, how long has the Jedi Council just been a death cult with marketing? And the worst part, nobody believed it was the first time. And sure as hell, nobody believed it would be the last. You know something's wrong when the cause of death says elevated stress, but the body is hovering 4 feet off the floor. Jeh'Fren Eppstein was alone, locked cell, full shielding, 2 guards, 0 entry, no stabbing, no blaster, no poison, just liftoff? Not tossed, not ragdolled, just slowly, gently floated upward and forgot to stop. Only footage? A hallway droid caught 3 seconds before shorting out due to humidity. In those 3 seconds, Epstein paces, stops, rises, his breathing cuts, and that's it. No assailant, no weapon, no noise. The temple denied involvement. The guards claimed ignorance. The medics called it asphyxiation via unknown means. For 5 hours, the excuse held. Then, a Republic tech ran a force field diagnostic trying to fix the broken droid and avoid a write-up. What they found? A blink. A flicker. A force echo. Not from the building, not from the planet, from Coruscant. 38 minutes after Yoda signed in for private meditation, a perfect gravitational pulse landed in the exact center of Epstein's cell. Subtle, clean, surgical. The kind of force strike only a few Jedi could even attempt. And only one would try during nap time. The second the data leaked, it was over. Core Worlds ran dramatized reenactments. Mid-rim tabloids plastered "Did he float the mun?" on every feed. Temple spokespeople flailed, shouting "field drift" and "uncalibrated subspace," like that meant anything. It didn't matter, everyone had seen it before. Wars, executions, Sith assassinations. There's only one weapon that kills like that: the Force. The Senate called it a tragedy. The Temple called it an anomaly. Yoda didn't call it anything. When asked to clarify, all he said was, "Justice perhaps the Force delivered." That's it. Not a denial, not a defense, just a galactic shrug. Windu nearly punched a hole in his seat. Kiadi suggested that they muzzle Yoda until retirement. Plo Koon filed another HR complaint. And then came the follow-up. Same energy signature, months earlier. Different target. Another Mun, compliance officer, died in a gravity accident. It wasn't random, it was repeatable. And just like that, the question wasn't, did Yoda kill Epstein? It was, just how many Muns has he floated? When the story broke, Palpatine didn't speak. He just watched the security footage, one Mun mid-air, and said, the little gremlin actually did it. And for once, he wasn't thrilled. Yoda was supposed to be the Jedi firewall, the ancient roadblock. Too stubborn to change, too boring to notice the Republic was collapsing around him. So, yes, Palpatine was horrified. For about 3 minutes. Then he realized something. If Yoda did this, if the Jedi's top monk had remote murdered a Mun mid-meditation, Palpatine didn't need to destroy the Jedi. They'd just destroy themselves. In public, he played it cool. Press statement, perfect. Calm, measured. Accountability, transparency. Sad day for the Republic. 8 uses of the word regrettable. Privately, he launched a political carpet bomb called Public Oversight Integrity Framework, a name so boring it screamed, "We're about to ruin someone's life with a chart." He brought in senators, friendly ones, ode-favored ones. He offered them something precious. Moral clarity. Just a Jedi review board. Just some oversight. Just a little, hey, what if the space wizards didn't self-regulate after choking a guy through time and space? A few senators objective. Palpatine smiled and said, "How's that been working out for you?" Then came the narrative push. The Jedi weren't evil, just misaligned, untethered, emotionally unsupervised. Maybe not dangerous, but definitely overdue for a wellness check. Holonet shows ran headlines like "Meditation or Manslaughter?" and "Swamp Wizard Behavior. Is Yoda okay?" Clips of him blinking in silence ran under eerie music. One podcast host said, "He made us breathe through our fingertips in a swamp. A swamp, Brenda." Palpatine didn't accuse anyone. He didn't need to. He just kept asking one question. What if it had been anyone else? A senator, a clone, a droid. Would this still be just a misunderstanding? And the public? Already spooked, they filled in the blanks. The hearing started like all Republic hearings. Too late, too smug, and already leaked to 3 gossip feeds. The Chancellor's office called it a respectful inquiry into Jedi operations. The Jedi read that as, "Stay inside and shut up." Meanwhile, half the Senate had booked Holonet interviews before the first witness was sworn in. Yoda was summoned. Yoda declined. The council claimed he was in extended spiritual centering. Translation: Yoda was hiding in a broom closet and pretending it was a metaphor. Same excuse they used last time, when a knight got force-slammed by a vending machine. When pressed, Yoda reappeared just long enough to say, "Clouded, the truth is." Then he left. No explanation, no defense, just dropped a weather riddle and wandered off, hoping the Senate would get bored. They didn't. Protests erupted. Not at the big temples. They were locked down. The small ones. The outreach centers. The places with open doors and bad timing. Clone troopers were reassigned as temporary security support, which meant stand there, look tough, hope nobody throws a chair. The temple PR team tried damage control, press releases, diagrams, one tragic flowchart. It didn't matter. Because it wasn't just Yoda anymore, it was the whole order. The Jedi weren't seen as corrupt, they were seen as ancient weirdos with too much power, not enough oversight, and a habit of vanishing right before someone died mysteriously. Audits were demanded, budgets frozen. A Jedi Public Conduct Registry hit the floor with 70 co-sponsors. And Mace Windu, once the Council's steel spine, just stood at the window every night, staring at the Senate dome. He didn't say much. He didn't need to. But one night, as the riots roared and mashups of Yoda quotes played under crime scene footage, he finally spoke. "We're not coming back from this." And no one disagreed, because they weren't. After 6 weeks of scandal, the Jedi Council finally did what it always does in a crisis. They wrote a memo. It said Yoda was stepping back to pursue personal recalibration in a low-interference environment. Which is Jedi HR for, we have no idea where he went, and frankly, we're too scared to ask. Because Yoda didn't resign, he didn't apologize, he didn't even fill out a shuttle request. He just walked into the temple hangar, stole a Senate-registered starship, and no one wanted to stop him. Where did he go? Dagobah. Not poetic, not symbolic, just a swamp. No extradition, no plumbing, no Wi-Fi, just mist, bugs, and the ambient sound of something dying very slowly in the dark. Officially, exile. Unofficially, withdraw. It turns out Epstein wasn't just a mun with creepy guest lists. He also cooked up the galaxy's most illegal force heroin. Cave spores, mun spinal fluid, an egg sac labeled "Do Not Describe." Yoda called it clarity. And after Epstein died, the supply vanished. So now he's stuck on Dagobah, alone, sweating through force shakes, talking to trees, staring at rocks, waiting for a feeling that never quite comes back. And twice a month, someone arrives, not officially, not invited, Jar Jar. He brings a pouch of questionable goo, doesn't ask questions, doesn't expect answers. Yoda just stares at him for 20 minutes, mutters, balance. This is his life now. A swamp wizard with war crime baggage, dependent on gray market Gungan heroin, too proud to return and too fried to fade. He had chances to explain, to stop. He didn't. Was the only stuff that worked, it was. So that's the legacy. Not the Clone Wars, not the philosophy, not the 900 years of Jedi moral superiority. Just 12 shady shuttle logs. 2 bodies no one wants to explain, and a Jedi Grand Master whose drug dealer once voted for fascism by accident. We wanted a wise old mentor. We got a missing persons case with a mud addiction and a Gungan plug named Jar Jar. This has been Canon Chaos. We'll see you next time, unless Jar Jar cuts our shipment.